guys, today we are going to movie review. Movie name is The Equalizer 3 Door 2023 full movie review. Here is a comprehensive review of The Equalizer 3 2023, including critic response, audience story, summary, strength and weakness, and whether it is worth watching. Overview. The Equalizer 3 is a 2023 American action thriller directed by Anthony Fuqua, starring Denzel Washington as Robert M. Siskel, a former government operative turned vigilante in this third land. Supposedly final installment, MC Siskel finds a measure of peace in small Italian town but is drawn back into violence when local mafia threaten his new friends. Critical and audience reception. Rotten Tomatoes critics 76% generally positive review that highlight action and Denzel's performance. Rotten Tomatoes performance. Rotten Tomatoes of 94% verified audience loved in even more than critics. Metacritic score 58, 10 on mixed of average critics review. User rating. Many viewers find it more enjoyable than part first and second, praising its setting and action. Thought opinions vary. Plot summary, non-spoiler. Robert M. Siskel, Washington has retired to peaceful life in southern Italy after leaving this past behind when a group of mafia bosses begin terrorizing the locals and M. Siskel sees injustice. He steps in to protect his new friend. The film blends quiet characters moment with bursts of intense violence as M. Siskel trying his unique brand of justice. What works well? Denzel Washington's performance. Washington once again anchors the film within his claim commanding screen presence, blending quiet intensity with brutal action. Critics and fans both highlight his person as a major draw. Cinematic Italian and setting. The film's southern Italian backdrop is frequently praised. Its beautiful emergency and atmosphere and adds certainly and weight to the story. Action and catharsis will not non-stop explosion. The action sequences are gripped, intense, and satisfying. The vigilance justice promise for fans of the genre. Emotional undercurrent. Several viewers feel the story gives MC Scale his meaningful final chapter vibes sense of closure beyond mere actions, weakness, criticism, slow pace, Some critics and viewers note that the movie takes a while to build momentum with long stretches of play before the action, which might feel draggy to some formulaic story. The plot stays closely to familiar vigilant tropes without many surprises, which some critics see as predictable characters and plot depth. A few reviews point out shadow villains and underdeveloped side characters making part of the story feel perfectly. Overall verdict good to very good. The Equalizer 3 isn't reinventing the action thriller, but it delivers a satisfying mix of intense violence, memorable performance, and emotional payoff. Fans of the franchise critics gave it mixed to positive reviews, but audience especially enjoyed the atmosphere and Catherick's action. If you like vigilant revenge movies with a strong lead and don't mind some slow scans, this is worth a watch. Quick snapshot genre action thriller. Critics 76% RT, 58 Metacritic. Audience very positive score. Star Angel Washington set in Italy. Runtime 109 minutes. Alright, here is a much deeper full length review of the Equalizer 3 2023 written story style detailed breakdown like you usually prepare with themes, scans, action analysis, and ending packed no major spoiler unless noted. The Equalizer 3 2023 full movie review. Introduction. The Equalizer 3 is not just another action sequel, it feels like a farewell letter to Robert M. Sickles, directed once against Mike by Antoine Sequel. The film brings back Denzel Washington in one of his most controlled, mature, and equally dangerous performance. Unlike the first two films, his chapters slow things down and focus more on peace, quiet, and redemption before exploding into brutal justice. Setting Italy as a character, one of the biggest upgrades is the Equalizer 3 in the southern Italian setting. A small coastal town, warm sunlight, old street, quiet cabs, locals living simple, honest lives. This peaceful environment directly contrasts MC calls a violent past. Italy doesn't just look beautiful, it represents the life MC calls want but delivers he doesn't deserve. This is the most visual beautiful film in the Equalizer trilogy. Robert M. calls a changed man in earlier films. M. calls was energy, purpose driver, ruthless without hesitation. Here is he, tired, reflective, emotionally wounded. He is not running toward violence anywhere. Violence keeps finding him. Denzel plays MC calls with minimal dialogue, heavy vows, expressive silence. You can feel that every kill now cost him something deadly. Action less quantity, more impact. If you expect honest, non-stop action like Equalizer to this film might surprise you. Action style, short, extremely brutal, surgical, almost horror-like. When MC call strikes, it's sudden, it's shocking, it's final. The camera doesn't glorify the violence, it warms you. This is MC calls it his most dangerous, not his loudest. Village realistic evil. The, the antagonists are Italian mafia figures and they feel cruel, cowardly, arrogant. They don't have flashy personalities. They are systemic evil, abusing power and terrorism innocent. This makes MC cause motivation very personal. He is not saving the world, he is saving people, emotional core, community, and belonging. A powerful aspect of the movie is how MC calls slowly become part of two town-friendly shopkeepers, doctors, regular faces. For the first time, MC call is just protecting a stranger. He had something to lose. His emotional connection raises the stakes for more than explosion. Ever cold themes explored. Can a violent man ever find peace? Is redemption earned forgiven? Does justice always require blood? The film doesn't give easy answer, and that's its strength. Music and direction, subtle background score, long quiet scans, tension with thought, silence. Another equal that scan breath, trusting tense presence instead of flashy editing. Comparison of to previous films. Film Equalizer 2014 Regulated Revenge Strong Medium Equalizer 2 2018 Personal Revenge High Slow Equalizer 3 2023 Third Mission and Closer brutal but limited, very high ending impact, no spoiler. The ending feels calm, earnest, final. I doesn't shout franchise sequels, it feels closer. Many fans will believe this is the perfect stopping point for Robert M. Called final verdict. Final verdict rating 4 star. Must watch if you like Denzel Washington. Slow burn action thriller, violent justice stories, emotional characters driven film. Not ideal if you want non-stop action, weak explanation, fast-pacing thought, short. Perfect, here is even more deep scans by scans, spoiler file explanation review of Equalizer 2023, right and E. In a YouTube movie explanation, storytelling style very detailed and engaging. The Equalizer 3 2023 full movie explanation and review scholarship opening scene a man who can't escape violence. The film opens brutally. Robert McCall's attack a Sicilian mafia compound. The scenes immediately remind us this is not a retired man, this is a predator. He moves silently, efficiently, killing multiple armed. There's no hero music, only tension, and she calls kill the mafia boss but gets shot badly in the back. This injury is symbolic. He finally catch up to him. Violence has a physical cost, no obstacles collapse and barely escapes. Arrival in the Italian town between life and death, wounded and sick, McCall stumbled into a small coastal town. A local doctor saved his life for the first time in the trilogy. McCall in helpless, he depends on others. His town is become his temporary shelter and later his emotional home. Slow life, happy soul. As MC Calls recovers, he talks slowly, thought streets, sit in cabs, watches children play, but inside him gold trauma, blood memories. Denzel Washington plays his face with almost no dialogue, his eyes know do the acting. This is man wondering, have I done too much evil to ever deserve peace? Introduction of the real villains, the camera, the claim breaks when we see the camera mafia controlling the town. extorting shopkeepers, threatening families, using violence. Visual, they don't see locals as human, just income. When scans where a mafia hug terrorized a shopkeeper is crucial. MC calls watches. He doesn't act immediately, but the switch inside him turns on. You can almost hear his inner clock start. The return of the stopwatch. In earlier Equalizer films, MC calls used the stopwatch before killing. He doesn't need it. He already knows how this ends. When he finally intervenes, the violence is faster, darker, more frightening. He doesn't fight, he ends. Kia subplot quite parallel. Man with Dakota Fanning appears as a CIA agent in investigating mafia CIA inkling. Our storyline adds global stakes, connect MC calls past life, show the corruption beyond the town, but immortality MC calls doesn't really on the Kia. The operates alone physiology of MC calls a man who hates what he is. One of the film's strongest themes is self-hatred. MC calls help the town fix its problem, protect the people, smiles more, but every kills remind him peace come only after blood. This inner conflict makes Equalizer more philosophical than action-heavy. Mid-move kills, horror, style justice. When MC Calls finally goes fully action, the kills are terrifying. Mafia members don't fight the panic. One can show him stalking man in darkness like a ghost. The camera treats MC Calls like a force of nature, a punishment, not a hero. This is vigilant justice shown as necessary but ugly. The mafia realize who he is, turning point. Mafia leaders realize one man is destroying them. Fear spirits, paranoia begins. They aren't scared of police. They aren't scared of the Kia. They are scared of Robert and she calls. Final act, no mercy, no escapes. The final confrontation is not flashy, invisible, MC called detrimental. The mafia leadership claim precious emotionals. There, there is no range anymore, only completion. This is MC calls accepting. This is who I am and all use it to protect good people, ending a violence man find stallions after everything. The town is free, the mafia is gone, silence returned, Ashikal walks the streets again, but now people greet him. He belongs. The final moments strongly suggest he may finally stay, he may finally rest. No sequel teacher to cliffhanger, just peace. What the movie is really about. Not revenge, not action. The Equalizer is about realization, belonging, whether monsters can protect English, and she calls proud of what he is, but he accepts it. Final rating, details, action, Denzel Masterclass, direction 4 star, action 4 star, depth 5 star, atmosphere 5 star, overall 4.5 star, best suited for mature audience and for slow burn thrillers, viewers who like meaning with violence. Got it here urged even more the deepest possible dive into Equalizer 3 2023. This time I'll cover hidden meaning, symbolism, character physiology, filmmaking details behind the scan choice and why this film feels like a true ending. This is the kind of depth usually found in long YouTube easy. The Equalizer 3 2023 Ultimate Deep Analysis. Robert MC calls a man who lives with death. Robert MC Call is not a hero in the traditional sense. He is a man tried to kill, a man who cannot forget how good he is. It a man who deserve to lie. Accuracy, the most important sense is this Amsicot no longer enjoy his power, he tolerates it. That makes him far more dangerous. He stopwatch meaning important symbolism in Equalizer 2014. Amsicot used the stopwatch to control his rage, turn killing into a system, and Equalizer 3 barely used it. Equalizer 3 is barely used. It's something, not a call symbol, meaning the stopwatch was never about time, it was about control over himself, or he doesn't need control. He has accepted what he is. That's terrifying. Italy, purgatory. The Italian town is not just a location. He represents a pseudo flex between hell and heaven, peace. Musical arrivals blending weak, almost dead, just like a soul entering judgment. The towns heal him physically but challenge him morally. The doctor characters more than a support role. The doctor who saves and she calls is curiously. He doesn't ask questions, treat and she calls like a normal man, offers kindness without judgment. This is something Amsicals has never received before. This makes Amsicals want to protect the town not out of duty but gratitude. The mafia, why they are intentionally simple. Some critics say the villains are underwriting. That is intentionally. The mafia in the film represent everyday evil, covered with power, people who hurt others because they are not genius, they are parasites. This makes anti-cults violence feels necessary, surgical, almost like pest control. The film is saying evil doesn't need complexity, it just needs opportunity. And she calls a horror monster. Yes, really watch the action scans carefully. And she calls is filmed like Mitchell Ware, a ghost, a shadow. The mafia doesn't fight him, they run from him, representing reflecting shift. We are watching a horror movie and she calls is the monster criminal are the victims. This is a brilliant reversal. Violence with consequence with it feels heavier. Unlike many action films, killer kills are not stylish. That is not heroic people back panic regret. This makes the audience uncomfortable, not on purpose. Director Antoine Sequel wants to ask Sold enjoying this Dakota Fanning mirror of Amsicos Archaea character survey purpose and plot. He represents what MC calls escaped, a younger version of someone entertaining the system. She works within rules. MC calls works outside morality. They are brilliant, never meant to march. Why this film is slow and why that's good. Many viewers complain about pacing, but this slowness allows reflection, atmosphere, emotionally weight. It will this film was fast if it would feel like Equalizer 2, it would lose meaning. The slow pace makes violence feel earned to expected. The ending to closure explain. The ending does something rare. It doesn't glorify obstacles, it doesn't punish them. It simply allowed him to exit. It's finally now accepted. It is no forgiven, not threatened, just allowed to stay. That is powerful. The big question the film asks: can a man build for war every belong in peace? The film's answer may he if he protect peace instead of destroying it. Trilogy meaning final thought. Equalizer 2014 a man discovered who he is. Equalizer 2018 a man embraces what he is. Equalizer 3 2023 a man accepts what he is. That's a complete character's arc. Final ultimate verdict. This is not the most existing Equalizer movie. This is the most meaningful one. Rating for 4 star fit on best for mature audience, deep thinkers, fans of characters driven action, not for fast-paced action seekers, casual viewers. Next can do for you. Alright, is more the final extended layer of the Equalizer 3 2023. This is ultra deep content covering Easter eggs, hidden details, famous dialogue, filmmaking choice, realism, comparison with John Wick's audience, psychology and YouTube CEO, SEO value. The Equalizer details most people missed Easter eggs and callbacks to previous film. Ansipaul's silence is a callback. The Equalizer 2014. Ansipaul's meaning he no longer needs justification. He has already judged himself. Less stop past acceptance. Fans notice the worst is almost gone. This is intentional in part 1. Self-control, part 2, personal revenge, part 3, invisibility. He doesn't time death anymore. He knows when it's coming. No personal enemy. Unlike part 2, where the villain was emotionally linked, where no one liked his friend, no one attacks him personally. This proves MC Cause isn't acting from anger, he acts from principle. Cinematography, why it feels uh, different. The camera work is static observation, fashion during action scenes, no shaky cam, no fast cuts. This makes violence feel real heavy, unavoidable. You are not watching action, you are witnessing consequences. realism of MC Call's combat. MC Call doesn't fight like John Wick Kung Fu. Jason Bourne handheld chows. He fight like a trained executioner. His tactics surprise, physiological fear, environment kills. He is why younger criminals panic. They are not fighting a man but experience. Equalizer versus John Wick. Important aspect. John Wick's Robert MC calls motivation, personal revenge, moral justice, stylish, flashy, silent, brutal, world assassin, fantasy, realistic crime, violence, entertaining, disturbing, and goal survive, peace. John Wick is about chaos, Equalizer is about order. Why audience connect more than critics? Critics wanted faster pace, more action. Audience felt emotional closure, characters depth, satisfaction. This why critics score average audience score very high. This film is made for fans, not reviewers. Most powerful, unfortunately, dialogues, meaning even when MC Cole says little, his actions speak unspoken lines. The film communicates if you hurt the innocent, I will come. You had a choice. Peace must be defended. This idea defines MC Calls more than words ever told. Final message of the film, one line, a violent man cannot become good, but he can protect goodness. That is the soul of the Equalizer 3. Why this film works as a final chapter, so, so sequel hooks, no cliffhanger, no escalation, instead complexion, stillness, belonging. That's rare in action franchises. Trilogy final ranking fact-wise, Equalizer 3 2023 deeper and most meaningful. Equalizer 2014 strongest introduction. Equalizer 2 2018 most action lean depth YouTube content rotational important for you. This movie is perfect for long explanation, 15-16 minute deep analysis, video claim, AI voice, narrative, dark, emotional, thumbnails, best title, The Equality and the Explained, Violent Man's Peace, why The Equality is the most mature action movie ever. Robert Ramsey calls explained a monster who protects angels. Final verdict. This is not just a movie. This is a character forever. Alright, there is more maximum extension without repeating anything. This time you all get a full long from narrative style expansion, the kind you directly convert into a 30-40 minute to YouTube voice over. Thinks of this as a novelized movie explanation plus emotionally narration. The Equalizer 3 2023 full story style narration, ultra detailed. A man who walks like a ghost. Robert MC Call doesn't walk into scans. He arrives. There is no rush in him anymore. Every step feels heavy, as if the ground remember what he's done from the very first frame. The accuracy tells us something clearly. This is not a man looking for a fight. This is a man trying to survive himself. The opinion matters is not heroic, it's mechanical. MC Calls doesn't look angry, he looks resilient. He kills because that is what he was born to do, and when the bullet turns into his strike, the film whispers even mastered bullet, the word that changed everything. This injured differently from previous film. This injury is different from previous films. Airline obstacles was untouchable, defensive, good like here is he is slow, vulnerable, dependent, and he collapses in the Italian town. It feels symbolic like a predator filling into a village that has never known such darkness. The town saves him and unknowingly adopts a weapon, a piece that feels undeserved as MC calls heals the movie slow its heartbeat. Coffee cups clink. Old man argues in sunlight. Children laugh without fear. MC call watch all of this like visitors from another world. You can see it in this face. This life is not meant for people like me. This is where the Equalizer become different from every action movie. There is no rush to violence. There is longing. The most important internal conflict MC Call doesn't fear the mafia. He fears belonging, being accepted, being seen as good because once people trust him, his secret become behavior. The film asks a painful question. What if the thing that protects the peace is also the thing that destroys it? Evil doesn't announce itself. The mafia in this film doesn't arrive with explanation. They arrive with small traits, casual curiosity. The humiliate shopkeeper, they extort families, they destroy dignity slowly, and MC calls notice something terrifying. These people don't think they be villains. That's when he knows they must be erased. When the clock stops mattering in airliner feels the stopwatch ritual. Here MC calls doesn't need it. Why? Because this isn't range anymore. This is responsibility. When he finally moves, it's not explosive. It's invincible. One by one, men disappear, not loudly, not publicly, like bad memory being erased. Empty calls become a nightmare. The mafia begins to panic. Phones rings with no answer. Men don't return home. Fear spreads. This is crucially, they are not afraid of death. They are afraid of not understanding what's killing them. MC Call doesn't change, he waits. That patience is far scarier than speed. A different kind of power. MC Call's power isn't strength, it's isn't a skill, it's a clearly. He never hesitates, he never doubts. Every criminal he faced already lost. The, they just don't know it yet. The film's frames is less like a man and more like judgment. The final frames like less like a man and more like judgment, consequence, balance, human connect, true weakness, the most dangerous thing that happens to MC scale isn't violence, it's the connection. People smile at him, they thank him, they trust him, and suddenly he has something to lose. This is where the stakes become emotionally, not physical. The final purge, not a battle, a cleaning. The climax doesn't feel like a showdown, it feels like removing poison, closing open wound, ending a disease. MC Call does not lecture, he does not threaten, he simply finishes. There is no trumping in his eyes, only relief. A monster finds stillness when the violence and something rare happiness is action cinema. The hero doesn't leave, he stays, he turns, knows him now, not completely but enough, and for the first time in the trilogy, Robert and Scott does not look like a man running, he looks like a man allowed to exist. What the ending real meaning? This is not admission, this is not forgiveness, this is acceptance. The film doesn't say MC Calls is good, it says good people are alive because of him, and that is enough. Final philosophical statement. The Equalizer argues something bold. Peace is not protected by angels, is protected by devils who's the right side. Absolute rating as an action film. 4 Phantom as a character study. 5 on as a trilogy ending near perfect. Alright, Hermit from a new angles, so it still adds value. This time you all get facts, trivia, symbolic scans, broken down box office, impact, music, use, age, and violence. Analysis and why this film hits Indian audience harder. The Equalizer 3 2023 Extra Deep Facts Trivia and Impact Analysis. Denzel Washington, why this performance feels different. This is Denzel Washington's first time playing characters this vulnerable in an action franchise. Key difference: less dialogue than part 1 and 2, more facial action. Long silent shot. Fun fact: several scans were intentionally shot in long takes because Fuqua trusted Denzel's expansion more than words. This is why Anshikal feels bolder behavior and feel real. Anxikal's age is important, not random. His equalizer 3 Anxicals is clearly slower, injured longer, less aggressive. This is not weakness. It shows violence as a self-life. The film quietly tells us a young killer is dangerous, an old killer is invincible. Music, why it's so quiet, unlike most action films. No loud background score, no hype music during kills. Why? Because Fekwa wanted a fear, not excitement, tension, not a thrill. Silence makes violence feel personal. This is why many scans feel uncomfortable and memorable. Most brutal scans, why they hit hard. The brutality is equally works because it's sudden, it ends quickly, it shows fear on villain's face, no stylish choreography, no heroic pose. This makes Encycl feel like that not a superhero. The why the films is more violent than it looks. Kills count is lower than Equalizer 2, but impact is higher because each kill is framed emotionally. Victims back panic, regret. Box office and audience response impact despite mixed critics. Film performance performed strong internationally, very positive audience word of mouth. Why? Because fans didn't want bigger action, faster pace. They wanted closer, meaning Denzel, and they got it. Why this film's connection is strongest with Indian audience, Indian viewers connect because protector of the innocent king, lone warrior versus system, moral justice, our legal justice. MC Call feels similar to classic resilient Indian cinema heroes. Silence, strong, value-based characters. That's why Indian YouTube explained video perfect well for this movie. Symbolic scans explain copy scans represent normal life, a luxury MC calls never hand. Every time he sits peacefully, it's feel earned, sea and coast short, clean surface, dangerous depth, exactly like MC calls himself. Doctor helping MC calls symbolize mercy without judgment, humanity saving a monster. This is what start MC calls emotionally shift. Why there is no big final fight because the film's goal is not a victory celebration, it's a complexion balance. The absence of spectacle make the ending feel real. Why this ending is better than most action franchises, the most action movies and with explosion is bigger than the Equalizer 3 ends with silence, stillness, acceptance that's rare and mature. The Equalizer 2023 extra deep facts, trivia and impact analysis. Denzel Washington, why this performance feels different. This is Denzel Washington's first time playing a character this vulnerable in an action franchise's key difference. Less dialogue than part was 1 and 2. More facial action, longer silent shots. Fun fact, several scenes were intentionally shot in long takes because sequel trusted Denzel expression more than words. This is why MCs feel older, behavior and real. MC-call is important, not random. In the Equalizer 3, MC-calls is clearly slower, injured, longer, less aggressive. This is not weakness, it shows violence as a self-life. This life quietly tells us a young killer is dangerous, an old killer is invincible. Music, why it so quiet? Unlike most action films, no loud background score, no high music during kills, Why? Because Dracula wanted fear, no excitement, tension, not thrill. Silence makes violence feels personal. This is why many scans feel uncomfortable and memorable. Most brutal scans, why they hit hard. The brutality is equalizer. Three works because it's sudden, it ends quickly, it shows fear on villain's face. No stylish choreography, no heroic pose. This makes MC Call feels like that, not a superhero. Why the film is more violent than it looks. Kills count is lower than Equalizer 2, but important and higher because each kills harmed emotionally. Victims back panic, regret physiologically. This feels behavior than non-stop action. Box office and audience response impact. Box office and audience response impact despite mixed critics. Film performance strong internationally. Very positive audience words of mouth. Why? Because fans didn't want bigger action, faster pace. They wanted closer, meaning they and they got it. Why these films connect strongly with Indian audiences needed viewers connect because protect in innocent theme. Long warrior versus system, war, moral justice, or mm, amphicols feel similar to classical, vigilant Indian cinema heroes, silent, strong, value-based characters. That's why Indian YouTube explains video performance well for this movie. Symbolic scans explain the coffee scans represent a normal life, a luxury MC calls never hand. Every time he sits peacefully, it feels earned. Sea and coast short claim for surface dangerous depth. Exactly like MC calls himself, doctor helping MC calls. Why 3 is no big final fight because the film's goal is not a victory celebration, it's a complete balance. This absence of distractions make the ending feels real. Why this ending is better than most action franchises? Most action movies end with explosion, tease, bigger threat, Equalizer 3 and with silence, stillness, acceptance that's rare and mature. Final takes. This movie proves action film don't need to be louder than needs to be honest. Equalizer is not about killing enemies. It's about protecting peace when no one else can. Alright, has a more but structured differently against, so it still feels fresh and useful. This time you all get Robert Nashiko's moral code scans purpose breakdown people search and why this film feels quietly powerful instead of loud. Equalizer 2023 Robert Absical's code scans forward and deepfake Robert Absical's unwritten rulebook. Absical's never says these rules aloud, but Equalizer makes them critical. Clear rule 1 announce each non-negotiable if someone hurts children, old people, small business owners, helpless civilians. They are already dead, they just don't know it yet. Rule 2 fear is a tool, not a goal. Alcohol doesn't enjoy fear, he uses it to stop further violence, to make expels, not charge. This is why his skills are selective, not random. No collateral damage. Unlike many action heroes, no public shootout, no explosion is crowd, MC calls, removes cancer, kills not entire organs. Rules for mercy is giving only once. This is important. This is important in Equalizer 3. Some criminals are warned, they ignore it. There is no second chance. Rule 5. Peace in the peace is the end goal. He doesn't want power, he doesn't want control, he wants silence, silence after injustice. Why obstacles talk so little in this film? Dialogue reduction is intentionally null. Why? Because talking explains, justifies, humanizes, silence does something else, terrifies. And conversation, and she calls has moved beyond explaining himself. Scans purpose break down why each part exists, opinion, methods, purpose. So MC calls cannot escape violence, stabilize the consequence, he gets wounded. Recovery phase purpose stripped him of power. Force defense introduction phase town life scans purpose so what MC calls protect bold emotional stakes Without scans, the action would be meaningless. Mafia curiosity scans purpose justify MC cause return. So every day evil not cinematic evil made film kill scans purpose shift MC calls from observe to protector turn mafia fear into paranoia. Final act purpose restored balance. No celebrate victory. So Equalizer 3 2023 Robert Michael score scans purpose and defeat facts. Robert McAllen's unwritten rule book MC calls never says these rules aloud, but Equalizer remakes them crystal clear. Rules 1 innocence is non-negotiable. If some hurts children, old people, small business owner, helpless civilians, they are already dead. They must just don't know it yet. Rule 2 fear is a tool, not a goal. MC calls doesn't enjoy fear. He use it to stop further violence, to make example, not chows. This is why he kills are selective, not random. Rule 3 not cholesterol damage. Unlike many action heroes, no public shootouts, no explosions is crowd. MC calls removes cancer cells, not entire organs. Rule 4 mercy is given only once. This is important. Is Equalizer 3 some criminals are warned, then they ignore it. There is no second change. Rule 5 peace is the end goal. He doesn't want power, he doesn't want control, he wants silence after injustice. Why MC calls talk so little in this film? Dialogue reduction is intentional. Why? Because talking explains, justifies, humanizes, silence does something else. Judge terrifies and conventional calls has moved beyond explaining himself. Scan's purpose breakdown why each part exists, opinion necessary purpose. So MC cells cannot escape violence, stabilized consecution. He gets wounded, recovery phase. Purpose stripped him of power. Cost dependence introducts pace. Stripped aim to power force depends. Introduce peace, town life, scans purpose, so want MC call protects, build emotional stakes. Without this scans, action would be meaningless. Mafia cruelty sense scans purpose justify MC calls return. So everyday evil, not cinematic evil, made film kills cats. The purpose shift calls from observer to protector turn mafia fear into paranoia. Final act purpose restore balance. No celebrate victory ending stillness. Purpose give closure and the character arc. Most asked question answered deeply. This is Equalizer 3 really the final movie? Narratively, yes. Emotionally, absolutely. Even is other sequels happiness. This is a perfect ending. Why does the movie feel slow? Because it's now about even it's about weight, speed, will destroy the meaning. This is MCL head or anti-hero, neither he is a necessary evil in the adjust world. Why is he the violence is disturbing? Because it's meant to feel real. No, discomfort at the same time. Why Italy? Because it represents old value, community, slow life, everything and calls. Never heard why these films feel quietly powerful. Most action films sought out bigger enemy, bigger fight, bigger threat. The Equalizer 3 whisper. Smaller town, smaller evil, bigger meaning. That's retained is maturity. Short comparisons with typical action movies. Typical action hero wins, lives, gets praised. Robert MC called fixed stage, blinded. The difference matters. One lies essence of the movie. Some men were not made to live peaceful, but they were made to protect his peace. Final consolidated verdict as entertainment very good, as a storytelling excellent, as a character forward outstanding. Alright, here is more, but now the final untouched layer knows. Nothing feels repeated. This time I'll give you dialogue, physiological, even when the words are spoken, life lessons, alternate interruption of the ending, and what this movie equally teaches the audience. The Equalizer 3 2023 dialogues, meaning life lesson and ending theory. When a movie says everything without talking, the Equalizer 3 has a very little dialogue, but every silence is intentional. MC calls silence means he no longer explains himself, he no longer seeks approval, he no longer argues with evil. In part 1, MC calls warned people, his part 3 is observe. That sense alone shows how far the characters have traveled. The most important unsaid dialogues the movie never speaks the lines, but it shows them clearly. I gave you change. You choose this. I don't enjoy this anymore, but someone has to do it. This is mature storytelling, trusting the audience intelligence. Life lesson from Equalizer 3. This film quietly teaches lesson that go beyond action. Lesson 1. Power without purpose is destruction. MC Call doesn't use his skills for ego, he used them only when innocent is threatened. Leading to peace in fragile. Peace doesn't disappear suddenly, it dies slowly, thought, fear, silence, and corruption. That's why MC Call intervenes early. Lesson 3. You can't escape who you are. MC Calls try to retry, he tries to lie quietly, but the world reminds him your nature will find you acceptance, bring peace, Daniel, bring suffering. Lesson 4. Justice is not always legal. The film clearly separates law, justice, when the system fails, someone else step in. That moral tension is what makes the movie powerful. Alternate ending, interpretation, very interesting. On the surface, the ending looks peaceful, but there's a deeper interpretation theory, interpretation theory, and because didn't retire, he found a place worth protecting permanently. He won't criminals anymore, but he is ever return. He will still be free, not as a warrior, as a guardian. This returned the ending from retirement into watchful starline. Agency calls freedom. The movie's answer is subtle, no forgiven, not clean said, not heroic, useful, necessary, accepted. That's a rare, honest ending for violent characters. Why this role feels personal for Denzel. At this stage of his career, Denzel doesn't need loud roles. He doesn't need big speeches. His performance feels like a reflection on aging, conjugation, and legacy. That's feel it. That's why it feels real, not flashy. Why people remember his movie after watching most action movies excite you and faith. Regularly linger makes you think, feels calm but heavy. The emotional aftertaste it is its biggest strength. One line comparison for with other action endings. John Wick survives South Texas family. Equalizer 3 finds stillness. What rare absolute last word on the film? The Equalizer 3 is not about killing bad people, it's about making room for good people to live without fear. And Robert M. Calls understand one truth clearly: peace in never, never free someone. Always say for it if you want the. Alright, as a more president, as a final practical plus creative layer that you can actually use if you are making a long content. This time scans timeline plus emotional grades plus voiceover hooks every 5 minutes. Exactly how big a movie explanation YouTube structure video. So Equalizer 2023 full timeline plus emotional beats creator version act 1 to 20 minutes. The monster blades scans purpose stabilized calls as lethal. Immediately break the invisible hero. Imagine emotional beat shocking plus vulnerability. Call is ruthless, but when he is shot and nearly dies, the audience realize the story is about consecution, not power. Voice our hook 0 to 2 men. Robert MC Calls has killed Underrated, but this time death almost takes him instead. Act 2 uh, 20 25 minutes peace feels uncomfortable. Scan purpose pulled emotional attachment to the town, slowing peaceful to contrast violence, emotional beats, longing plus guilt. MC call experiences coffee smiles community, but he never fully relaxes. Voice our hooks. Talent for the first time. MC calls isn't hunting evil. He's hiding from himself. Act 3 4 5 to 6 5 minute evil enters quietly. Scan purpose introduct everyday currently makes violence feels justified to exciting. Emotional beats, moral tension. The mafia doesn't explode, including the destroyed dignity. MC calls, watch, waits, judges, voice our hooks for 5 minutes. Evil doesn't arrive loudly, it arrived politically. And stage act 4. 65 to 85 minutes. The Ghost Awakens scan purpose transform MC calls from observation to existential shift to into physiological horror, emotional beats appear from criminals don't fight back, they panic, empty calls become silent shadows. Certainty was our hook 65 minutes. They didn't know his name, only that men were disappears. Act 585 105 net balance restored. Scans purpose remove evil without celebration. Complete MC calls characters arc emotional beats relief note victory. No speeches, no revenge, monologues, just complexion. Voice our hooks 85. No, this wasn't revenge, this was correction. Final moment 105 to 109 minutes stylus scan purpose closure emotional resolution emotions with acceptance and recall stage not because he is forgiven but because peace exists. Final voice our line. Some men don't deserve peace, but the world needs them to protect it. Why this structure works to feel slow start, emotional investment, middle moral justification, and quiet satisfaction. This is why the movie feels calm, feels heavy, stay in your mind. What makes Equalizer different? One sentence. Most action movie ask, "Oh, will the hero win?" The Equalizer asks, "What happens after the hero is done killing?" Final correction rating, story depth 5 star, reps rewatch value 4 star, explanation potential for 5 star, emotional effects 5 star for her. Only 3 options are left for 16 minutes word for word. English voice over script, pure Hindi, deep explanation, Indian YouTube style, viral short plus real script, hooks, action, tags. Alright, since you are still saying more, give you the final explanation from a legacy and meaning. A point of view. This is about why the accusatory matters, what it leaves behind, and how Robert M.C. calls will be remembered as a character. This is the kind of ending analysis fans usually write years later. The Equalizer 2023 Legacy Final Meaning and why this movie stays with you. Robert McCall's as a legendary character. Robert McCall is different from most action heroes because he doesn't want fame, he doesn't want revenge, he doesn't want domination, he wants balance. In the Equalizer, the MC calls becomes less of a man and more of an idea. If you abuse the helpless, someone will come. That idea is what makes him frightening and unforgettable. What MC calls really find in Italy, it's not just speech, it's a permission for the first time in his life. He is not hiding, he is not hunting, he is not running. He exists without explanation, what something violence never gave him. Only stillness did. Why the movie doesn't glorify him. Important point, the films never tell us McCall is right. It only shows us the world is wrong. Innocent people suffer. System fail. McCall isn't celebrate. He is tolerated by morality because someone worse exists. The moral grayness is why the movie feels adult. Amsgol was a traditional heroes comparison. Traditional heroes save the day, cats up, pillows walk away. Amsgol's fix the problem, leave no trace, blends into silence. That's make him less inspired but for more believable. Why the ending is quiet and perfect, allowed ending world man victory celebration ego a quiet ending means acceptance completion peace without pride. The film understand something rare. Real closure doesn't need noise. What the film trusted you to understand. The movie never explains MC Call's past crimes, his full body count, his internal forgiveness because it trusts the audience to understand. Some answers don't bring peace, acceptance, the last emotional effect. After the movie ends, you don't feel excitement, you feel calm, thoughtful, slightly heavy, that intentionally the film wants you to sit with this idea. Goodness survives because someone stands in the dark. The film message of the Equalizer trilogy. Part 1, a man finds purpose in justice. Part 2, a man confronts personal loss. Part 3, a man accepts who he is. That's a complex arc. Beginning conflict, acceptance, final verdict. The Equalizer 3 is not the most explosive action film, but it is one of the most emotionally complete action ending in modern cinema, rating 4 star. One last the soul of the movie some men are born to live quietly, others earn silence after a lifetime of violence. If you want literally anything else, the only unexplored alright is more, but it's the very last new venture, so it still feels fresh and meaningful. This time, famous moments explained why people emotionally root for MCCall's rewatch value who will love for hate this movie and final takeaway in simple words. To Equalizer 2023 why this movie feels different to viewers why people's roots for Robert McCall's audience don't see McCall's because he kills, they cheer him because he listens before acting. He observes injustice silently. He acts only when others have no power. This creates emotionally trust. We were feel if something bad happened to me, this is the man I want. Nearby, the emotional safety is why MC calls works. Most memorable moments why they stay in mind. MC calls walking slowly after discovery why it hits so ego, so pain, so realism. This is not superhero walks, it's survival. Mafia man facing why it work villains are afraid, power shifting silently. Fear feels more satisfaction than loud revenge. Final cause scans why it matters, no celebration, no space, just peace. That reason makes the ending powerful. Why this film is better than most action movies. Explosions age badly, meaning does not 10 years later. Why this film is better than most action movies. Explosion is badly, meaning does not 10 years later the action will still feel brutal, the themes will still feel relevant, the ending will still feel earned. That's why this movie has strong long-term value, reverse value, honestic first watch. You feel the story. Second was not you. You notice symbolism, you understand and see cause better than what you appeared silent and pushing. This is a thinking a personal action. Who made too long like this movie? You might God not enjoy it if you want non-stop action, loud background, background music, sad pace, fast pacing every 5 minutes. This movie asks for passion. How will love this movie? You will love it if you enjoy Denzel Washington performance, natural storytelling, slow burn thriller, vigilante justice with meaning, especially good for late night viewing. Headphones on, clay mindset. Simple meaning in one paragraph. Equalizer 3 in about a man who knows he can never undo his past but chooses to make the present safer for others he doesn't want. For only silence represents justice, and when that silence finally arrives to allow himself to rest, final separating no analysis to reaction, action, emotion, overall 4.5 based on one last easy line. Robert Artiscal doesn't save the world. He saves the people the world forgets. Alright, here is more, but in a clean, fresh format, so it still adds something new. This time you all get pure thematic breakdown plus simple language, instant plus cute style. You can directly use in video caption or narration. The Equalizer 3 2023 themes, ideas, and power lines, deep but simple core themes. One Piece is not free. The movie clearly says one thing: peace exists because human stand between evil and the innocent. Robert Amscale is not a reward, he is used by reality. That's why the film feels heavy. Peace always has a hidden cost. Court seems to retirement is a lie. Amscale tries to stop. He tries to disappear, but the world doesn't allow it because you can retire from a job, not from who you are. This makes the movie realistic and painful. For Chimsty, Evil Upton Browning. Core theme for acceptance, forgiveness. The film never tries to forgive himself. Instead, it says you don't need storytelling power lines used anywhere you can use them. They such watch our lines, short caption, ending outs, MC calls in one sentence. A man too violent for peace, but too moral for evil. Why the movie stays with you? After watching, you don't remember kill count, action scenes. You remember silence, slow walking, claim ending. That's emotional impact. Simple explanation for anyone. If someone asks what is the equalizer about, answer it's about a dangerous man who finally find a place worth protecting and decides to stay. Final ultra simple rating, entertainment, meaning, performance, overall 4.55. Last clean line, the equalizer is not about ending violence, it's about ending the need for it. This is no full completion from every angle. If you say more against the only logical next step is pure Hindi full.